is how the story goes. We find out by the treasure in the grand line, there's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates, I'm gonna be king.
Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I bring you a video on the Carnival 2024 mail. Is it pay to win? Well, here's a full analysis. So again, this video is a full analysis of this piece of armor coming from the Monster Hunter Now Carnival events, or paid ticket events if you want to be more specific. And it has a lot of hunters up in arms because it was only locked behind you buying either and participating in the Shibuya and Global 2024 Carnival paid ticket events. So yes, pay to win armor, and we're going to see if it actually does stand as a pay to win armor and if it actually does somehow break the game in some way, shape, or form. First, we're going to start off with the Carnival 2024 mail equipment skills. So we're going to analyze the equipment skills of this piece of armor. And at grade 8, the Carnival 2024 mail gives critical eye level 2 and lock on. So at level 4 you get lock on. At level 6 it gives you critical eye level 1. And at 8, the epitome, the final product, you get critical eye level 2. And this piece of armor is a direct upgrade of the Odogaron mail, which provides critical eye level 2 and bleeding resistance level 1. So there's already something like it that already exists, the Odogaron mail. The only difference is this thing gives lock on, and it is currently the only chest piece in the game that provides lock on. So yes, lock on gear is valuable for melee users, and again, this is the first one that does it. So is it pay to win? Well, let's look at more data. So because this thing appeared, a lot of people seem to think that it's the only piece of gear with lock-on. No, there's other pieces. In fact, here's all the lock-on gear, and we're going to analyze all of them. So, the Carnival 2024 mail isn't the only thing with something really good as far as equipment skills with lock-on. The two most notable equipment that rival the Carnival 2024 mail is the Koropuke Puke Helm and the Rothian Van Braces. Koropuke Puke Helm gives you weakness exploit level 2, and the Rothian Van Braces give you burst level 2. These are two very good skills, and you should be going after these in the beginning anyways, so that you are in the beginning or whenever Koropuke Puke is released out on the field, so you can have these two powerful pieces of equipment that can substitute for the Carnival 2024 mail. And again, data and more on that later on in this video. And these two pieces of armor have been the long-standing lock-on meta and are still prevalent in a lot of builds. You're going to still see them in a lot of builds. So you should have these two. The Carnival 2024 mail wasn't even a thought before they announced the Monster Hunter Now Carnival 2024 event. Next up, we have the Carnival Mail 2024 best build versus the alternative build for melee. So lock-on benefits melee users, and this build uses the best critical element build as an example. And here we have the Rathalos and Silver Rathalos best builds with the Carnival 2024 mail. So we're going to look at something that isn't locked behind, or not locked behind, isn't event exclusive monster, and something that's available on the field. And if we do all that data, we crunch the numbers. As you see here, per the data, if we substitute the Odogaron mail for the Carnival 2024 mail for critical eye level 2, and the Rothian Van Braces instead of the Azure Rathalos Van Braces with critical boost level 2 and giving it burst level 2 instead, the difference would only be 7 to 8% as far as theoretical practical average damage. 7 to 8%. That is not a lot. You might notice a small difference in damage when you finish off the monster, but overall it isn't game breaking at all. 7 to 8% is, I wouldn't say barely, it's very small. Very small. But again, you're not going to notice the difference. So yeah, at just looking at, like, once this thing came out and I looked at the data comparing, I was like, this thing, it's good, but it's not as good as people put it out to be. Moving on, we have the Carnival 2024 mail versus Odogaron mail ranged. So ranged builds don't benefit from the Carnival 2024 mail's lock-on. Lock-on is for melee, doesn't work for ranged. You can't do some cool homing missile thingy like in Wilds. I wish, that'd be cool. But the Odogaron mail can be substituted to give the exact same critical eye level 2 bonus, which was the original critical eye level 2 mail. So if you had that one built, you actually don't need to build this one. Especially if you are a Black Diablos bow user. As you see here, we use the Black Diablos bow, which is currently the best raw weapon in the game right now. If you don't have it, yeah, you're missing out. It's actually that freaking good, and you should probably go get it. Per the data, the Odogaron mail substitutes just fine for the Carnival 2000 mail and provides the same result for the best build that uses critical eye level 2. If you're really good at crunching numbers in MHN.Quest, you'll see something that has the same exact result. That's because there's an interchangeable build that provides the same result but you're just using different pieces of armor. In this case, all you're doing is literally slapping on the Odogaron mail instead of the Carnival 2024 mail, and bam, you get the same exact build, theoretical, practical damage per... Yeah, you get what I mean. But as you see right here, where I have it circled, yeah, you just have to slap on the Odogaron mail. So, you're the most powerful weapon in the game, most powerful build without drift melts, and you still get the same result. Pay to win? No, you don't need it. In fact, there are builds that don't even use the Carnival 2024 mail. The Puke helmet is and can be used for a lot of lock-on builds as it gives weakness exploit level 2. For status sneak attack level 5, which is the best meta build for it, it uses the Puke helm. You need that chest slot to give you that status sneak attack. So you need to have that slot open. For bowguns, the Puke helm is used because the mail slot needs to be used for other pieces of armor. So because the mail slot and other slots need reload speed and recoil down, etc., you need Puke helmet in the helmet slot to give you something that provides affinity. And as of right now, we don't have a helmet other than the I mean, not the Puke, the... what you call it? Kuluyaku helm, yeah. Kuluyaku is one thing about. So old, so forgotten. I'm just kidding, it's still good. But yeah, the Kulu helm in place, that's the only thing, and has critical eye level 1. Puke helm has weakness exploit level 2. And many other builds, like elemental attack builds, can do without the Carnival 2024 mail due to the small damage difference. So yes, you saw the difference before when we replaced stuff. Well, if I made another build with that, the Puke helmet instead of Rathian Van Braces, you would see a similar result, or very likely something very close. Now that we looked at a whole bunch of things, here's the overall analysis on a Carnival 2024 mail. It is far from pay to win. Per the data, it is the meta. Yes, it is the best, one of the best lock-on pieces, arguably the best, but you can do without it just fine. Anything that would do more than 15% or higher damage, taking in all factors, would likely be noticeable. Now, if it's 30% or more, okay, we might talk about it being game-breaking if the data is factored in. There's a lot of supporting details, etc. In order for something to be good, it must be consistent, and it must be factually good. As in, you looked at numbers and stuff, and you're like, alright, that's a pretty high number, let's go. But you do not need the Carnival 2024 mail to unlock 8 stars or anything like that. It does not impede your game progression. It's a nice to have. We do not have PvP in Monster Hunter now. There is not anything you could buy to win the game or anything like that. No, we delete and defeat monsters. This is why a lot of people have their feelings hurt a lot, because you don't do anything competitive, or there's no competitive aspect in the game for the most part. So, this is why it is not pay to win. You don't need it to unlock a part of the story. You do not need it to get the best weapons and armor in the game. It's just one of the best. In fact, if you do not have the Puke helmet at grade 8 or the Rathian Van Braces at grade 6, you probably shouldn't even be thinking about this thing. You should be getting about those two first.
10万あったらマルチベースアンプシミュレーターに新しいアンプこれがいいのかもっと
yes, that scene is a perfect example of what you would have done other than the Carnival 2024 event, you know, because it definitely does not cost 100,000 yen for that ticket. It was like 15 bucks or around that, 15 bucks US dollars or around that amount. It was not a lot. And hopefully this helps you fight the fear of missing out if you didn't buy and participate in the Carnival 2024 events. If you could not find $15 or the equivalent, that's fine. However, that's your fault. If you had it, you definitely would buy it. Or you're finding some moralistic reason or whatever as to reason why you don't want to do it or participate. That's why a lot of people are saying that the Carnival 2024 mail is pay to win. Because you don't have a lot of experience in Niantic games, because they've been doing ticket events forever, you couldn't afford to do it, or you just didn't want to do it because you wanted to do something else, which is fine. Just at least admit it to yourself instead of like trying to put out that like, hey, this thing is so dang good, it's so game breaking, oh my gosh, it's so unfair that it's not for everybody else. You need to put out events and give them a carrot to why you should buy this event ticket. If there's not a single piece that is good for the armor, why would anybody forge the armor or the weapons for any reason? If anything, this really benefits newer players that bought the ticket because the Carnival 2024 armor is cheap. So it helps them a lot. So again, if you didn't buy it, that's your fault. As someone that has built a lot of the meta armor per experience, there is a small difference if you use alternative builds. Small difference. It's not anything that will hold you back. It's okay if you don't have it. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Good luck on your grinds. Hopefully you got everything you needed for the carnival events like I did, and you're happy with your results. If not, wait for the next one, or just wait until Golden Silver Ratian and Near Gigante release again in the future. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.